Well, hello everyone, and welcome in. My goodness gracious, another Saturday night here at the Six Screens. Well, I'm so glad you're with us. My name is Rick Farron, and I'm coming to you from the apostate capital of the world, right up here in Boston, Massachusetts. And man, we have been doing this program for 18 years. We have never missed a Saturday night. We are here because you are here. And a lot of people really do rely on this program because it's live. Many people exiting the Jehovah's Witness organization have a lot of troubling things going on in their life. And for them to be able to connect with people in real time is very important. So, this is what this program is all about. I give you the news and you guys spin it. That's what we do. I give you a news story that's going on in the Watchtower, and then we get your thoughts on it. So that's what we've been doing for 18 years. It's been very successful, and more people are coming in and listening to the Six Screens of the Watchtower. We have got numerous programs. We've got upwards of 18, well, actually 17 different programs that run on this network right now. And we certainly appreciate the efforts of all of those people. Like Linda James, she just filled in for Anne Marie, and she did a program called Touched by the Tentacles. And then after this program, we have a man by the name of Fritz Springmeyer. He may be coming on tonight. It looks like a go for him. He's going to be coming on around 9 o'clock, and he's going to share a lot of things with us. He's an author of the book, The Bloodlines of the Illuminati. So Fritz will be on with us a little later on, and we're looking forward to that. He may have to work, he said, but he wasn't sure. He wanted to come on so much. He has a lot to tell us tonight. Are you looking around the world? Are you seeing some of the strange things that are happening? Well, Fritz is going to tie it all together for you tonight. So by all means, stay tuned for Fritz somewhere around 9 o'clock tonight. Well, like I said, this is the apostate capital of the world. You're probably saying, Rick, I'm jealous. I wish I had some apostates where I live. Well, don't you worry. There are so many people leaving the Watchtower right now. They are hemorrhaging. People are leaving. Elders are leaving. Circuit overseers are leaving. Families are leaving. This is not your grandfather's Oldsmobile anymore, as the saying goes. There's many right now that are saying, that's it. I've had enough with this organization. Well, we are seeing a big drop in the field service already. Now, we announced it last week. The Jehovah's Witness announced it last week, the Watchtower, that the publishers would no longer have to report time. Oh, did you think there'd be repercussions of this? Now, this is supposed to start in November. If you're a publisher, like all of us used to be, right? We had to report time every month. Some of us got 10 hours in a month. Others got 5 in a month. Some could only get 1 in a month. But the point is, you no longer, if you're a publisher in the Jehovah's Witness organization, you no longer have to report time. But now I've got people emailing me. I've got information coming into the Six Screens that November hasn't even started yet. This is all supposed to start in November. In October, you're still supposed to be a time reporting witness. But already, many are seeing a big drop-off in field service. Yeah, it's not supposed to start till November, like I say. But now, all of a sudden, we see so many people saying, that's it. Once they announced it, I don't have to go out anymore. I mean, they announced it was unbiblical. There was no biblical grounds for a witness to go out and tabulate or report their time. So we're getting information. One particular person gave me some information today that I found very useful and helpful. They said that they went out in the field service today, and there was only 6 people that showed up with field service on a Saturday. And, they meet at the Kingdom Hall, and only 6 people showed up with field service. And usually the person that wrote me told me that usually there's 20, 30 or 40, but 6 people? So all of a sudden, I think that many witnesses are going to say, that's it. Why even report time? I've had enough of it. And, I'm sure this is going to vary from place to place. The person who gave me this information didn't give me the congregation or the area that he was calling in from. But, I speculate that there's going to be a trickle down effect. Think about it. I mentioned that again, a trickle down effect. I think that's going to take place. I think what's going to happen is there's going to be many witnesses that are busting their butts, just like you did, pounding the pavement every Saturday morning and many on Sunday as well, busting their butts in the ministry. And then they're going to see others slowing down and cutting back, and it's going to start rubbing off on them. How would you feel? Think about it. So you're a real aggressive Jehovah's Witness. You're going pounding the pavement all over the place, knocking on doors all over the neighborhood. And then a lot of the brothers and sisters are slacking off. They're not even doing it. Would that encourage you to do it? The answer is absolutely not. So I'm guessing, I'm just guessing, that's all it is. It's just a guess. I'm guessing that in just a short period of time, we are going to see an end to the door-to-door work. I'm jealous. I'm actually jealous that I see this coming about, being announced, no more service time. I would have loved that when I was one of Jehovah's Witnesses. I had, along my former wife, we had 5 children. And imagine the chore of going out in service and getting the kids ready and putting them in the car and driving to the Kingdom Hall. That was a job and a half. That was a real chore. So I'm jealous. Maybe you're jealous too. Maybe you're jealous all the time, all the effort, everything you put forward to go out in service. And now all of a sudden, don't worry, you don't have to report time. I mean, come on. Let's get real with that, right? So I just wanted to bring that to your attention. A lot of things right now, that the Watchtower is rapidly changing. You don't need me to sit here and tell you that. I mean, if you've been following the Jehovah's Witnesses as of late, the Watchtower is in deep doo-doo. I mean, there's so many changes. People are beginning to really scratch their head. And I'm talking about people that are actively in it, PMEs. Those that are physically in, those that are mentally in, they are just scratching their head and saying, what is going on with our organization? And we have reports coming in here to the 6 screens, because this is like a news reporting holding house, if you could say, like a UPI. And people send me news articles all day long, and I want to thank all the people that do that. And then I kind of decipher what I'm going to run with, what I'm not. But I got a bunch of reports that are coming in. Now, one report I got here today, I just got this today. I found it very, very informative. Thank you very much for sending it in. 3 reproved and 1 disfellowshipped in a single night. He doesn't name the congregation that it was in, but in one night, 3 were reproved and 1 disfellowshipped. I mean, can you imagine all of the people that have to be going into a judicial committee hearing because of apostasy, because of not liking the new changes, because of saying something's wrong? I mean, you can question the Watchtower, but don't dare question their answers. Friends, the Jehovah's Witnesses, they're dropping like flies. And please don't say, Rick, there you go. You're looking through rose-colored glasses. That's a bunch of baloney. I'm not looking through rose-colored glasses. I'm not looking through rose-colored glasses. Take this to the bank and cash it. Jehovah's Witnesses are dropping like flies. Do you realize that there's elder bodies, entire congregation elder bodies that are being investigated? The Watchtower is sending in special, like, circuit overseers and special elders to see what's going on in the congregations. It's infection. It's like a pandemic. Many congregations are being infected with apostates. It's unbelievable. The elders are becoming like thought police. I mean, they are now looking at everybody scrupulously. They're looking at everybody and having doubt about many. If you even frown during the meeting, if you look to be uncomfortable during the meeting, if they can tell by the way you're sitting, by the way you're commenting, that they can tell that something's wrong. You're not the same Jehovah's Witness you used to be. Yeah, the thought police. The elders have become the thought police. They're now trying to read your thoughts. I mean, that is not new. This has been going on for a long time. But right now, elders are being assigned to watch you. They're suspicious of you. They don't know if you're an apostate or what you are, but they're very unhappy with what's going on. And the elders are actually being assigned to keep an eye on you to make sure you're not making any unusual, critical facial expressions. They're even watching your facial expressions. How bad is that? Oh, friends, I have to tell you, this is just unbelievable. The more I read, I go through the news, it's unbelievable. It's just absolutely out of control. Now, how about that new brochure? There's a new brochure that they made a big deal about. It was going to be in that special mystery box that wasn't supposed to be opened, but it's now opened, and now reports are coming out, and there's a brochure. There's a brochure. We talked about it a week or so ago. It's called Love People and Make Disciples. Yeah, brochure of the mystery box. Remember we talked about these boxes that were being sent to the congregations, and they weren't supposed to open them until a certain date. And then all of a sudden it was opened, and there's a brochure inside. It's called Love People, Make Disciples. Love people. I mean, think about that. Is that a deceptive name for a brochure from the Jehovah's Witnesses? Love people? Well, unless you don't believe what you believe. Yeah, you love the people that believe what you believe, but what do you do with the people that don't? What do you do with people like me? Am I loved by the Jehovah's Witness person? Are you? Are you loved by the Jehovah's Witness person? Absolutely not. Don't you think the organization's sneaky? I've thought they've been sneaky for many years. Yep, very sneaky. You know, they speak out of two sides of their mouth. They have a forked tongue. So now we see, and I guess it's being reported in this brochure as well, that the publishers don't have to report time anymore. No more hours to report. That's a wonderful thing, right? We would have loved it when we were witnesses. So they need a reminder. This brochure is coming out at exactly the right time. The witnesses need a reminder to still spend a lot of time going door to door. Now, they don't have to report their hours, but they need a reminder. And the brochure comes at just the perfect time, just when the publishers think they can relax. I mean, if you heard this news last week and you're one of Jehovah's Witnesses and you hear a news announcement from the annual meeting that, you know, you can now not have to report time, you'd probably say, oh, great. Sit down on the couch, sit down on the easy chair and just relax. Not so fast. The conscience here is going to hit hard. Now, you know darn well when you were one of Jehovah's Witnesses, you had a wicked conscience, right? We had the program before us had a lady that had a terrible, terrible conscience. She wanted to do everything the Watchtower said. So even though they're saying no more reporting time, do you think this is going to hit the conscience of a Jehovah's Witness if he's not going out in service? Of course it is. Of course it is. The average witness is going to say, I still have to preach for Jehovah. I'm going to go out and do it. And the Watchtower knows that. So the brochure, this new brochure that was in the mystery box, this will motivate guilt. The PMEs, those who are physically in and mentally in, those loyal Jehovah's Witnesses, they'll be doing extra field service for a couple of months at the best. Yeah, they'll do some extra, but maybe after a couple of months, once they see the regular rank and file is dropping off and not reporting as much, like I said earlier, they might drop off as well. Well, let me just bring some people in here. If someone wants to speak up, all you have to do is hit *6, and you're on with us. Yes, go ahead, Daniel.
I want to share some news. You guys have been with me through ups and downs and all over the road. You remember I have a 13-year-old daughter she was 3 when I was calling in to Six Screens. I've been on the phone with her today. She's awake. She told me today that she believes Jehovah's Witness is a man-made religion. She doesn't understand how people are falling for this. She goes, I didn't realize all the things that have been said about you over the years. I knew it didn't make any sense. And she goes, I started thinking about it one day. She goes, my dad has always showed me love no matter what. He didn't judge me. He didn't treat me in a different way no matter what I said. And she goes, it finally hit me. She goes, I'm in a religion that's a racket and a snare. And that's the words that she used. And she goes, I don't know what's the truth anymore. I don't know what exists anymore. But all I know is I'm in survival mode. And I got to get, because she lives with her mom, you know, and her mom remarried about a year ago. And he's a Jehovah's Witness, but he's abusive towards my daughter, abusive towards my ex-wife. And it's caused my daughter just to start questioning everything. And she told me today for the first time she wanted to know my honest opinion. And I was scared when she asked me that because I didn't know if it was a trap or not. You know, like what is she? Because she's been told so many lies by her grandma and by her mom. And so I asked her, I said, I said, is this for real? And she goes, Dad, I'm not setting you up. I want to know what you know. What are you not telling me all these years? He goes, I know, because you seem happy and you've always loved me no matter what. What are you not telling me? And she started to tell me what she knows and what she thinks. She goes, you know that Stephen Lett guy? And she goes, he creeps me out. He creeps me out. And she goes, I have to watch this stuff. I'm forced to watch this stuff. And she goes, it makes me want to puke. She's 13 now. She's 13 now, Rick, and she's woken. She's awake, and she wants to know what I know.
Well, Daniel, that is such good news. Congratulations. That is wonderful. That must be really music to your heart, really. My goodness.
I just got off the phone with her. I had to share.
Oh, well,
you guys have been there all the way.
Well, thank you, Daniel. That is a remarkable, boy, that you made my day. That's the best thing I heard all day, Daniel. Thank you.
Thank you, Rick.
And you're a good father and you're a good man, Daniel. And she sees that. And you've come on here talking before how much you loved her and wanted to be with her and what you had to go through and all of your trials and problems and troubles. Look at that now. Now she's waking up as a young lady and saying, I don't want any part of this. Good job, Daniel. You did good, buddy. Thank you. Oh, isn't that something? Boy, isn't that good news? Stop and think about it. They're waking up all over the place. Young ones, old ones. The Watchtower is hemorrhaging. Man, they are on life support. How do you think? How do you think an organization that has so many issues, so many critical articles, you read about them on the news, how do you think an organization like that can continue? It can't. It's very, very simple.
Can I say one more thing?
Sure, Rick? Of course, yes.
She asked me a question. She goes, Dad, I'm 13. I know the Watchtower has got to be making money after money. Why are they still asking for our money? Why are they still begging for our jewelry, our property, our inheritance? Why are they asking us at the meeting when they already have so much and so many of the members are suffering? That's something to think about. If a 13-year-old can put that together in their own mind, that's beautiful.
Boy, I would say so. Usually a 13-year-old person wouldn't be thinking about finances like that. But my goodness, she's sharp, Daniel. She's sharp girl. Well, I hope it all continues to work out for the best for you. Now, how about her mother? Does the mother, your former wife, does she have any inkling that this is all going on?
No, she thinks it's still the truth, and they just got to get through all of this. And how this all started tonight is she goes, I just think my mom needs to walk away from the truth. And she goes, Dad, I hate to say this, like this, I don't even want to call it the truth. Why do we use that word? She goes, I think my mom needs to take a big break from all this and focus on her own life, and things would get much better. And that's what opened it up to where it went tonight. It was beautiful. But if I could say anything to anybody, love our family, love our children as best as we can. And I'll tell you what, I was probably one of the, what's the word to use? One of the most, I've heard other experiences of other people, family waking up, but I've never seen it with my own family. And to hear my daughter speak at 13 years old, it was like somebody with such wisdom and such knowledge and knowing what questions to ask. It was like talking to somebody that was much older than me. It just blew my mind. So I had to pause for a moment, and I didn't want to just let it all out of the bag in one night, but so you kind of just share certain things. But she's a smart cookie. She's intuitive. She knew what questions to ask. And it's just like, I told her, Rick, I said, not now, but I told her about 6 screens. And I said, one night, I want to 3-way you in just for you to listen and to hear people from around the world so that all of your thoughts, all of your pains, all of your stress, you're not alone. Because the thing she kept saying, Dad, I'm 13, I should be able to be a kid, but I've had to grow up and be an adult. I've had to even be an adult for my mom. She goes, I should be able to be a kid, but I haven't been able to be a kid. And that jerked my heart chain all over the place, because that's exactly what she should be able to be. But she's so intuitive and she's like, Dad, I would love that if you would call 3-way me in sometime. So one day I will introduce you to my beautiful daughter.
Well, we would love that. That would be wonderful. Now the question was, though, the mother, your former wife, does she have an inkling that your daughter is having doubts? I mean, your daughter's playing it cool, right?
Yeah, she's playing it cool. She says that right now she's more worried about her daughter because the guy that married, basically a week after they got married, he basically told my daughter that she wasn't his blood, so he didn't give 2 rats about her and started cussing her out. And so she's in an abusive relationship along with her mother. And so right now she's trying to be supportive of her mother. Her mother's willing to get out of that situation. And so that's the situation they're working on right now. It's separating and it's sad. She thought she was marrying a nice brother who, whatever. And so it just went sideways. And so, but my big thing too is protecting my daughter because that emotional and mental abuse doesn't become physical,
Yeah, there you go. Well, it's amazing, Daniel. I'll tell you what. I mean, that's just amazing. I mean, this is going to be one of the best days of your life.
It is because I've my story. It's gone so long where I didn't get to talk to my daughter, and my daughter finally, she goes, Dad, I knew all along you weren't the things that was being told to me, but it was mainly coming from her grandma.
Yeah,
that was a witness. And she goes, I knew it wasn't you, Dad, but she goes, I realized for tonight, for the first time, you and I are so much alike, and I'm so grateful that I can know that I could walk away from this and have somebody to talk to.
Excellent.
That understands me. And that just touched my heart beyond.
Well, thank you for sharing that all with us, Daniel. You made our night here tonight. Thank you. We got a lot of people writing it on YouTube. They're very, very happy. Did someone want to say something? Daniel, go ahead. You're on with us. Did 615 want to say something? Come on back. 615. We had some people. Okay. Well, Daniel, hang in with us, okay? And we'll probably bring up more as we move forward, okay? Thank you, Daniel.
No problem.
All right. Well, what do you think of that? I mean, that's listen, it's even happened in my own family. It's happened in my own family. I can't tell you who, but I had a number of relatives contact me in the last couple of years, and they've seen us on YouTube, they've seen us on Facebook, and they've contacted me and said, Rick, we've had enough. So this Daniel, this is daughter. I mean, maybe you have some people contacting you too. 615. What do you have to say? Run with us.
I'm just listening, Rick. Sorry.
Okay, I'm sorry. I saw you in the unmuted zone. All right. Well, anyways, this is such good news. I'm so glad for Daniel. This week, well, actually, in the last couple of weeks, we have a new book, a new publication in the Jehovah's Witness world. It's 2023 Scriptures for Christian Living, and I'm gonna bring it up. I'm gonna play a little video. I want you to see a video. It's Jeffrey Jackson will be talking about it, and I want you to see the video. Then we'll do some comments on it. Let me go to jw.org and let's bring that in. Let's see where we're going to start here. Okay, so we're going to go in 1 minute in. Let's go 1 minute in. Let me get us on the screen here so we'll be able to share this. Let's hold on 1 second. Just takes a little bit of time here because it's a live program. When you see these YouTubes that are done, pre-recorded, they can take the time and do it. But we're doing things live here, so it takes a little more concentration, a little more effort. But let's share a screen here. I want you to see Jeffrey Jackson. I want you to see him talking about. This is on the update 7. I want you to see him talking here about this new book. He talks first of all about the New World Translation and how it's translated in so many languages. And then Jeffrey, let's see if we can't get this to a bigger.
Welcome.
Hold on.
We have some.
Hold on 1 second. I'm just going to move forward to 1 minute in. Now they're introducing a brand new book. Now listen to what he has to say about this book. I think you'll find it very fascinating. So let's start right. Where are we? Okay, 1 minute in. Just go back to 1 minute in. All right, let's start right here.
And now the governing body has approved of adding yet another tool to help us quickly access the powerful message in the Bible. We all believe in the power of God's word to give us comfort and guidance. Because of that, we have our favorite scriptures that we refer to over and over again. However, do you ever partially remember a Bible verse, but you're not sure where to find it? I know that happens to me. Or do you want to comfort someone with a verse that perhaps they don't often hear? If so, you'll be pleased to know that a new tool is being released. It has the title, Scriptures for Christian Living. This publication is similar in a number of ways to one that was released back in 1965. The book, Make Sure of All Things, Hold Fast to What is Fine. The title page described that book as a compilation of scriptures from the Holy Bible under 123 main headings. Its purpose? The title page said, "This book may be used to assure yourself of the Bible teaching on these subjects, and also to answer those who challenge your faith." Make Sure was a well-loved publication. Notice what 2 publishers enjoyed about it.
Well, we'll stop right there. I wanted you to hear that. I wanted you to hear that's Jeffrey Jackson, governing body member. He in the update this month off of JW Streaming, they're talking about the 2023 Scriptures for Christian Living. Now, this would be like what he talks about. It's like the Make Sure book. Many can remember that, but probably more listening to this program remember the Reasoning book. Remember the Reasoning book? Many of the witnesses would take the Reasoning book and actually glue it inside their Bible so they had it, and it would help them to get to scriptures pretty quick when people ask questions. So it's like the Reasoning book, or as they say there, Jackson was saying, like the Make Sure book. But anyways, the point I want to make with this, this book is not to be used in the public ministry per se. You're not going to place it with householders or anyone. This is to be used. It's intended to help the witnesses in the public ministry. It's a collection of their favorite scriptures, and it has, like, if someone asks you about the holidays, or someone asks you about other issues concerning Watchtower history and what have you, it's all there. But there's no mention of the new light on reporting hours. You're not going to find that in this book. No, it doesn't mention it at all. It seems like to me, now really, I want to bring this to your attention because I think you'll agree with me. I hope you'll agree with me that it seems like to me that the witnesses of the Watchtower organization is distancing themselves from the public ministry. It's they want it to be a personal ministry. They want it to seem like it's your personal decision to go out in service. It's something that they don't want you really to say that, well, I'm an agent for the Watchtower. A Watchtower is making me do this. In that way, they can't be blamed for what someone says or does in service. Do you get the gist here? They're making it your personal ministry. That's what this book seems to reminisce of. It's not our ministry, it's theirs, according to the Watchtower. They want to be able to tell the officials, hey, it's their ministry, that they want to do this. We're not forcing the people to do it. That's why they probably removed the hours, right? So there's a lot of changes that are taking place in the Watchtower right now. And they're all related to that underlying motive. You're not a member. You are on your own. You are not working for the Watchtower. You are on your own. And why do they no longer want to let you think you're a member or you're some important person in the Watchtower? It has to do with children participating. You know, children, when they were in the ministry school, the theocratic ministry school, they were participating in a Jehovah's Witness activity. And the school or the Jehovah's Witnesses, the Watchtower, would have been responsible for those students in the school. So you can see this is why they're disconnecting from this idea of, you know, you are part of us to you're on your own. Did you want to say something, Chewy? Go ahead. You run with us.
Yeah. Have you heard anything? Are they still going to be doing? This is a question, and then I got a comment too. Are they going to have meetings for full service, or has there been anything about that?
Well, I suppose there'll still be meetings with service. I did get some information that came in here today. Even today at a Kingdom Hall, I don't know where it was. They didn't tell me. But this one particular person went, I guess it was a brother, and they normally have 20 to 30 people show up on a Saturday. Today, they had a group meeting there for service. There was 6 people. Now, as I mentioned earlier in the broadcast, this idea of not reporting time doesn't even start until November 1st. But already I'm getting reports coming in, Chewy, that are showing that the witnesses, they're not going out in service anymore.
Yeah. Well, there was a couple things. I watched the video. It was in Spanish. It was only about 16 minutes long, but it had like 5 dudes. And he's a big YouTuber. He's on the Spanish side. Glenn Rydell. He does a very good job. And he had another YouTuber there with him. But they did a deal, and they were talking to a Pimo. It was down in Mexico, a Pimo elder. And it was about 16 minutes long. And he was saying that in Mexico, where he goes, they got 97 publisher cards. 97. They had 15 show up for the Sunday meeting, is what he said. 15 to 16. Sunday meeting. Yeah. 97 publisher cards.
Well, I'll tell you, no tanking. They're hemorrhaging, Chewy. I mean, I don't know what else we can say. They are hemorrhaging, no question.
Yeah, there was another one, and I'm going to shut up after this. There was a little bitty video that came out that David and Vivian and David, they do a kind of a historical slant, you know, on stuff, and more so than the theological. But anyway, they had a book. It's one of their latest videos, and it's by a circuit overseer in England in the 1960s. And the reason they put it up is because they wanted to show what it was like in the 60s, the build up to 1975 and everything. I never heard of the book. It's called The Inside Story on Jehovah's Witnesses. And you can get it on the Internet Archives. And one thing that I was going to mention, and then I'll shut up, you know, they talk about this change that they're going through now, but back in the 60s, I didn't know this. But according to the CO, you know, he's a CO, their former CO, he said that the congregations at that time had a quota. The congregation servant, his goal every year, the first part of the service year was to increase the congregation publishers by 10% by December. By December every year, he was supposed to have an increase of 10% in publisher ranks, and also in April, the 20% increase that they were asking for those dudes at back in the 60s. They were wanting them to try to do the best they could to add 20% to the publisher ranks. So, and they even had a questionnaire for people that were reaching out. A questionnaire: is he humble? Does he take direction well and stuff like that? I'm going to put it on my Twitter feed, and people can look at it, and then they can look up the book because you can get it in the PDF form. Anyway, that's all I got. It's just an interesting read. It's a very interesting read to see a perspective from back in the 60s.
Well, yeah, no, I can remember that too. I can remember the quotas. Just so, like you're mentioning, a lot of people listening into the broadcast here tonight, they can probably remember the quotas as well. Yeah, go ahead, Eric.
Talking about the new like the video that you played, and I watched it, and I read a little bit of the book, not all of it, and or whatever it is, the release. It's on their website, and you said this is like the reasoning book. So, do you and your audience remember the reasoning book having a spot in the section where it says to donate? Because it actually says donate at jw.org. And are any of these books and are any of this material that's coming out have anything to do with God anymore? It's like, it's clear that there's an agenda. They need money. They need to control you. They need their children at an early age because they know they're bleeding out, and it's not, Google and YouTube is destroying this religion. And I just thought I'd bring that up, Rick, that I've never heard of a reasoning book saying donate to a Watchtower back in the day, I mean, this is where we're at now, guys. This is where we're at, where Watchtower is so desperate that they're putting it in their own literature for the people. I mean, it's in the literature everywhere. I don't know. Sorry for the rant, Rick, but it was something that stood out to me when I saw that.
Well, thank you for mentioning that, Eric. But in fact, did this book? It's really brought out in such a way. I mean, I've been thumbing through it and trying to come to some conclusion. It's called the 2023 Scriptures for Christian Living. I've kind of thumbed through it to some degree, but the message that I'm getting from this book is they're trying to make this a personal. When you go out in service and you preach the Jehovah's Witness message, you're doing it personally. You're doing it on your own. You're not doing it as a member of the Jehovah's Witnesses. But now the other thing I found very fascinating to me, which really, because I looked scrupulously to see if I could find anything about 1914, which is a central doctrine of Jehovah's Witnesses, and there was nothing mentioned about 1914 and nothing mentioned about blood in the new book. Nothing at all about blood. Yeah, so that kind of got my thoughts on it. But before I talk a little bit about why I got kind of shook up where blood wasn't mentioned, I got some things to say. I want to bring in Arizona. I want to bring in our good friend Gilbert Gonzalez. Hello, Gilbert.
Yeah, hey Rick, I just wanted to that was Jeffrey Jackson right on the video, and when that publication was coming out, him and I were fighting because I was trying to get that Bible text, 1 Thessalonians 4:11, that you also aspire to lead a quiet life, to mind your own business, and to work with your own hands, as we commanded you. That's the Bible text I always tell people, and then they're like, "Oh my God, the Bible really says to mind your own business and work with your hands, and that's a commandment." But see, that's when Jeffrey Jackson says, you know how you always forget those little Bible texts? Well, the Jehovah's Witnesses didn't forget that Bible text of minding their own business because they never read it. It's never read to them. And just think about going door to door and standing on a corner with a cart witnessing. You're not minding your own business. It's the epitome of getting involved in people's business. So that was why, you know, I was fighting with Jeffrey Jackson in the committee about getting that Bible text, and they shot that one down. But I just thought you should get the backstory on what happened.
Well, thank you, Gilbert, for sharing your thoughts with us. Always good to hear from Gilbert Gonzalez out there in Phoenix, Arizona. Thank you, Gilbert. All right. Okay, let's go. Let's take a look here. Now, listen, I went through the book. I looked at the book, this new book that's been released. And I can tell you there's nothing about blood. It's completely omitted. Now, don't you think if you were going to have a scriptural discussion with someone at the door and they asked you about blood, that would be included in the book? It appears not to be included. So, you know, just some things I'm really taking to the bank here and cashing. I spent quite a bit of time on this today, but I'm realizing here that maybe they're not mentioning blood because they're going to change their position on it. Now, I'm just thinking out loud. Don't hold me responsible. Don't take it to the bank and cash it. But I'm just thinking out loud that maybe they're going to change their position on blood. Now, those who have lost loved ones to the blood doctrine, and many of us have. I've had friends that died. 2 friends that died because of the blood doctrine in the Watchtower. So I'm thinking that maybe they're distancing themselves from the blood doctrine, and then they will blame the Jehovah's Witnesses who have lost loved ones or loved ones that have died. They will blame it on them for having an oversensitive conscience. That's what I'm thinking. I don't know. So they will probably gaslight everyone into making them think that the blood doctrine is really a conscientious or conscience matter. Friends, this is psychological manipulation at its best. It's to confuse in the mind of the victim. It's to confuse. In other words, a Watchtower. Let's say you lost a loved one in the Watchtower. Well, they're going to make it sound like, well, that one died because they have an overworked conscience. I think it's pretty sick, but that's my thoughts on it. I mean, I don't know for sure. And this is why they're going to come forward here, I think, in time. It's not even mentioned in this new book, The Blood Doctrine. But I think in time they're going to come forward and they're going to say that we don't need to apologize for those that needlessly died. It was them that made the decision. So I'm just thinking that the blood doctrine may be going the same way of the beard. You know, the beard right now, many Jehovah's Witnesses have beards. It's not any big deal anymore. So I'm just bringing that up, folks. You know, this is just like George Orwell in 1984. I'm going to, and hold on, Chewy, just if you would, Chewy, don't speak up yet. I'll bring you on, okay, when we're ready. And if I just want to talk about George Orwell, I'm going to put his picture up here. I want you to see this. I want to read something from the book 1984 because it's so reminiscent of what the Watchtower is doing right now. Just hold on 1 second here. I want to bring it up so you'll see it. And let's get it up here right now. I got to scroll down and see it. Just give me a second to get it. And there it is right here. I want to read this statement. This is from George Orwell, 1984, the book 1984. Everything faded into the mist. The past was erased. The erasure was forgotten. The lie became the truth. Well, that's exactly. I mean, they can just, you know, not even mention the blood doctrine here in this new book they have. And then, you know, they can slowly get away from it. And then they're going to erase it from their history. And then what was forgotten will become the truth. So, I mean, that's something that is a possibility. So I wanted to show that to you. Okay, we have 615. Come on, 615. What do you have to say?
Well, talking about the blood doctrine reaches my heart a little bit because I have hemophilia, which uses I need the use of blood fractions. I don't anymore. They use hamsters now. The medicine has changed; it's different. But back in the day, I remember my grandfather was an elder, and he would be very upset that I was getting like my mother would infuse me. She learned how to do it, and she would infuse me, and he'd be very upset. And as a child, I was always wondering why Grandpa gets so upset when I get my medicine. And it wasn't clear back in the 80s and the 90s whether the blood fractions were okay or not. And they wrote, my parents wrote the society, and
They wrote back that it's a conscience matter. But I always wonder, and I happen to know this, I happen to know a family that was about 10 years older than me, that they sacrificed their son basically because he didn't get factor. He lived a really painful life, and I didn't have to have that, thank God. But if you don't get your medicine when you're a hemophiliac severe, you whittle away down to nothing. It's a slow, painful death. So I'd like to tell or ask Watchtower, do you feel, you say you don't have to apologize. Jeffrey Winder says he doesn't have to apologize for them getting things differently. I would like an apology actually for my dead friends. And I would like an apology for everybody that suffered with hemophilia or any blood disorder or anything that they've caused with medical advice, Rick. It's all coming back to bite them in the ass, and they know it. So they're desperately trying to cover themselves. There is so much. These guys need to say I'm sorry more than ever, and they refuse to. There's a lot coming to them, Rick. There's a lot of. You can only get involved in our lives so much to where it's a takeover, and I feel like Watchtower has taken over every part of your mind, at least if you give it to them, and that's what I have to say about the blood issue. Thanks, Rick.
Well, there you go, Daniel. No, I mean not Daniel, but Eric. That's a good comment. Thank you, Eric. Very, very good comment. All right, Thomas, did you want to say something? Thomas Hodgins, did you want to say something?
Yeah, it's Thomas Hodgins here in Lawrence, Kansas. Yeah, I'm just really thankful that many of the former Jehovah's Witnesses have held on that old literature. Boy, is it ever going to come home to roost now with all this literature where it talks about being disfellowship or taking blood and all this shunning policy stuff. They're not going to be able to walk away from it that easy. They might think so, but there's a lot of old literature out there. And man, that may come in handy someday. Maybe even the courts will get to see it, and they'll realize that the Watchtower has been locked to them too. So I'm hoping over in foreign countries, they can really kind of set the stage and get this thing rolling. And hopefully it'll end up back here to where we can, get some possible lawsuits against these bums for costing people lives and shunning and all the craziness that's been going on.
Well, good comment, Thomas. Thank you very much for checking in with us tonight. Let's go on to 805, area code 805. Go ahead, you're on with us.
Hey, Rick, this is Larry Wayne in Camarillo, California.
Yes, Larry.
I just wanted to let you know I'm listening, and when the Six Screens closes tonight, I'm gonna have something available for everyone to call, just like we did before late night. It's a phone number, and I'd like to give it if I can.
Sure.
Okay, the dial-in number is 717-908-1834, and then the participant code is 802673#.
Well, give it to him again.
Okay, the dial-in number 717-908-1834. Participant code 802673#.
There you go.
Hello? Hello?
Yeah, go ahead. You're on with us.
Oh, I'm sorry. Can you say that one more time, please, Larry, please? One more time, sorry.
Yeah, that's okay. 717.
Hold on. I got to write it. 717.
Okay, the area code, that's the area code, 717 908
908, okay.
1834.
1833. Okay.
And then the participant code is 802673#.
It's 73. Oh my God, can you say it again?
Well, we can't say it again. In fact, write me at JW World News, and I'll get it for you.
Okay.
Right?
Well, just
802,673 pounds, right?
802,673 pounds.
Okay, I got it. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
okay. Thank you, Larry. All right. Well, there we go. So, listen, we got a number of programs that are spinning off here from the 6 screens. We had Larry coming on tonight. Also, Pasta Babe has a program afterwards as well. So, you guys get your choice. You get your choice of listening to some different programs because the 6 screens doesn't go all night long any longer. All right, let's take a look and see what else is going on behind the curtains of the Watchtower. I just want to say is Randy Waters. Randy Waters, are you listening in right now? Hit *6 on your telephone pad. Randy Waters, *6. Are you on, Randy? Okay, he's not on with us. He will be coming on, I do believe, but we do have Justin Quinn. He'll be coming on in, probably about a half hour or so. He's going to talk about that protest that's being held down in Washington, D.C. I'm looking forward to hearing what he has to say about that. So we'll have Justin coming on, but let's stay with the news here. We have a lot to still talk about here on JW World News. Yes, go ahead. You're on with us.
Hey, Rick, this is Jesse in Yuma, Arizona.
Yes, Jesse. Yes, sir.
Yeah, my little brother Gilbert was on a few minutes ago, and I just want to represent Arizona properly, our great, beautiful state of Arizona.
Yes.
He purveyed some misinformation or some Jehovah disinformation. No. But you had some great callers. I just want to throw something at your audience, see what they think. Me and Gilbert have been talking about it. All our lives, 50 years plus, has been Jehovah's Witnesses. Since we were babies, we were controlled by this Holy Spirit question that you can't sin against the Holy Spirit. So if you badmouth Watchtower, they have control over us. And the question we have and we're dealing with is, did the Watchtower, by all these changes that they've done the last couple of days, did they sin against the Holy Spirit? Are we seeing now a complete and total spiritual and physical and financial breakup of the Watchtower? Not just a bankruptcy or a moral bankruptcy, but a spiritual bankruptcy. Because to us, it sounds like they're sinning against the Holy Spirit. They're blaming Jehovah for the mistakes, and they say they're getting this through Holy Spirit. I mean, if that's not sinning against the Holy Spirit, because all our lives we wondered, what does that mean? What does that mean? What does it mean to sin? For example, if you were a young kid, a young man, and you had a girlfriend, and you guys were dating, and you guys engaged in heavy petting, and the elders take you to the back room in a judicial committee, they would ask you, were you guys heavy petting? And you say no. So the young man would think that he sinned against the Holy Spirit, and the rest of his life, he was going to go through messed up in the head, thinking that he sinned against the Holy Spirit. So that's how they derive their power. What we're thinking is, are we witnessing with our own eyes in real time the Watchtower destroying itself and sinning against the Holy Spirit? That's the question that we're entertaining.
Well, I think it's a good question. I have to say that I think there's a lot of people that'll jump on that train with you, Jesse.
Yeah, because that's how they derive their power. They scared everybody into oblivion in this life and in the afterlife. And now what we're seeing is they're saying that they're getting information, that they're not infallible, that they make mistakes, but yet they're receiving this information through Holy Spirit. I mean, it is some spiritual gobbledygook. They has to be sinning against the Holy Spirit. So if they are, two things. I'm accusing them of something that I could pay with my life. Number two, if we're right, the curses that are going to befall the Watchtower are incredible. They're going to be cursed into oblivion.
It's happening right now, Jesse. It's happening right now. Seriously. Yeah. Oh, great comment. Great comment. Well, thank you, Jesse. Always good to hear from you.
Beautiful show. And I just want to tell you, you guys are a blessing to our community, a blessing, because it gives us a point where we could throw ideas somewhere we can't do it at the Kingdom Hall. In our own chosen religion, we couldn't do it, and we have to come to the 6 screens to do it. So I want to thank you.
Well, I thank you, Jesse. Always good to hear from Jesse. My goodness, you're a stable-minded person. Hey, I mentioned Atlantis. Atlantis is an insider at the Watchtower. Now, Atlantis has been sending me information, reminders and announcements. And not just me, but other apostates as well, like Kim and Mikey and others. But all of a sudden, I got this announcement just today from Atlantis, and I haven't been getting emails from Atlantis for the last couple of weeks, and I'm wondering why. And he's an insider, like I say, that would give me information. I'd share it with you here on the Six Screens. But now he wrote a reason. He wrote me a letter today, and he's given the reason why he hasn't been giving me the letters as of late. Now, this is good news. Now, I want you to sit tight. I want you to open your ears up. This is some of the best news I've heard all week. Now, the reason that Atlantis hasn't been sending me information like he has been in the past, he says the elders who were assisting him, giving him inside information, have all stepped down. They have faded, or they entered mental hospitals. That's right from Atlantis himself. So we haven't been getting updates in the last couple of weeks because he says the elders that were helping him with the information and sending it to him, they all have stepped down, faded, or entered mental hospitals. Is that good news? Come on, folks. I mean, that is as good news as you're going to hear. That's telling me that even at the top, now we had some friends in pretty high places, and that's showing me that even at the top, some of these high officials of the Watchtower, they're starting to break down. They're starting to say, that's it, I can't take it anymore. They're having mental disorders. They're stepping down. They're fading. So he said he could no longer send these documents because the people who have been helping him are stepping away from the Watchtower. That is good news. I tell you, I've been hearing so much good news this week. Even tonight with Daniel, his daughter, 13 years old, saying she's had enough. I've been hearing good news tonight, like even in that new book that just was released this week. Nothing about blood, nothing about 1914. Something's changing in the Watchtower. And I have to tell you that this organization is really to the point of, I think they realize they are collapsing. Do you think that too? Do you think the Watchtower is collapsing? Well, let me tell you something. I've studied this. I'm a business person, and I want to tell you something right now. I'm going to bring this up because I think it's very important to discuss here tonight. There are generally 5 stages to a business collapse. So I've studied this, and now I'm bringing in the Watchtower organization to the point that I'm now saying that they are collapsing. And it's a business. We know it's nothing more than a business masquerading as a religion, but they already have experienced the 5 stages of business collapse. They are in it right now. I'm going to mention them to you. Many businesses, they will decline gradually in a process involving 5 stages of failure, which are also the reasons why business failed, because of these 5 reasons. Now, I'm going to mention these reasons. I'm going to let the audience know the 5 stages of a business collapse. I see the Watchtower has already experienced all of them. They're in stage 5 right now. Well, let's talk about stage 1, overconfidence. When a business becomes overconfidence, it's called the hubris stage. Yeah, the Watchtower, in my estimation, became very overconfident in their history. And I'll tell you when, I think. You might disagree, but I'm going to give you my thoughts on it, and I'll be glad to entertain your thoughts as well. But I believe back in 1975, the arrogance is what was being shown by Watchtower. They felt that they were entitled to so many things, and they became very arrogant about it and just kind of thinking, well, people will believe anything we say. And what happened back in 1975? Well, I'll tell you, I believe the Watchtower was very arrogant back then, and I believe that 1975 was their first stage of collapse. I want to play you a clip I want to play you a clip from 1975. Please listen in. Let me just get this up I'm going to play it. All right, here you go. Listen to this clip. Oh, there you go. I mean, those are clips. That first person you heard was Brother Franz. And he told you 1975 was marked year. And that was Circuit Overseer Sanatko. I believe you might have been a district overseer, Sanatko. But then that was a clip from him talking about 1975. So I think the first stage of collapse for the Watchtower organization, I believe, happened in 1975. In the years preceding it, just a little bit before, how they really started feeling we can tell people anything. We're arrogant. Yes.
Hey, I was just thinking, my husband had made a point some weeks back, but I was thinking like these religions don't necessarily never really collapse. They just reform. Just like you have some of the Bible students, some of those are still around. You have all of these that kind of like they mutate in some sort of way. You might not have all of them, but I don't think they're going to just really go away though.
Well, I respect what you're saying. I respect what you're saying. The Watchtower, as we know it, will collapse. That they may have some aberrant, strange thing take place. Maybe they'll become more mainstream Christians. But the Watchtower, as we know it, sister, is on the verge of a major collapse. As you listen in here tonight, I'll give you some of the reasons for it. I do appreciate your position on it. And yeah, they will mutate, but they will not be the Watchtower that you and I were part of. Yeah.
Oh yeah, they haven't been that since I left 10 years ago. So,
oh yeah. So we are really seeing that. The first stage. I have to go back to 1975. I'm going to say that was the first stage, and they became very arrogant. The Watchtower felt, oh, we can tell people anything. Well, we'll have people selling their houses, moving to where the need is great, and tell them Armageddon's coming. And they perpetrated this. This was all a plot. It was all a plan. And they know darn well even how they'd worked their way out of it by saying that people were running ahead and all of this. So that was an arrogant. They really figured, well, we can pull this off. Our people will believe anything. And they started back in 1985. And now let's go to stage 2. I'm going to use the word over. Yes.
I didn't hear anything.
Yeah, on YouTube, It's not playing at all, Rick. We didn't hear it on YouTube.
You didn't hear it. You didn't hear it on YouTube. That's weird.
Not at all.
Hold on 1 second. Let me check and see why. I'm not sure why you're not hearing it on YouTube. You're not hearing me either? At all?
Yeah, you
Oh, but you didn't hear the clip. All right. Well, it's just a clip from Franz. It was a clip from him saying that 1975 was a marked year and something's going to happen. And then District Overseer Sanatko said that 1975 has been all over, written about in the Watchtower about a marked arrangement of things to take place. But I'm sorry you didn't hear that on YouTube. I'm sorry, folks. But you can hear me, right?
Yeah.
All right. So that's fine. Well, thank you for telling me. I'm not sure why you didn't hear it. That sometimes that does happen. But anyways, we're talking about the 5 stages of business collapse. And I believe the Watchtower is they're already into the 5th stage. So I just want to move forward with this, but I want to tell you about stage 2. Stage 2 has to do about overreaching this is deceitful. If you overreach, especially if you're a business, you're really working by deceit or trickery. You're trying to outwit. You're overreaching. You're trying to instill things into people's minds that are not truthful. It's trickery. And this has to do, I believe the second phase started in 1995 with this overreaching attitude of the Watchtower. Oh, we can just trick people. We can get them again to just believe everything. We'll just tell them what they want to hear. And they talked about the generation. That was back in 1995. And I think that was part of their collapse. They tried to pull it off with this overlapping generation. It went over like a lead balloon, but they were using trickery. They kept moving the goalposts. Remember the anointed ones were not to die off before this end came, but they kept moving the goalposts. And they were getting older and older and older. They didn't know what to do. So they used trickery. And they came up with this overlapping generation. Okay, let's go to stage 3. The Watchtower in stage 3 began ignoring or misreading the signs. Yeah, they were seeing what was happening in the organization, but they began to misread the sign, the evidence of what was taking place. They saw the anointed was skyrocketing, right? We know the anointed, went up to, it went up into the 21,000, almost close to 22,000 anointed ones. The number should have been going down, but it was going up. And then also, the misleading or the misreading information, they were ignoring the number of people that were dwindling from the Watchtower. They were ignoring the mounting lawsuits. They were ignoring the fact that the house-to-house work was not working. So we've seen this all happen around the turn of the century, around the year 2000, 2004, 5, in that area. So we see the stages here. I went back and I tried to examine and put these stages together of a business collapse. Now, stage 4, the overcorrecting. This is what happens when a business begins to collapse. These are the things that take place. They overcorrect things. The officials, the CEO, the members of the board, they will sit down and they'll overcorrect things. They'll say, well, gee, maybe we made a mistake here. Maybe you made a mistake over there. But the overcorrecting has already taken place and is still taking place in the Watchtower. The governing body is not infallible. How many times have they been telling us that? They will make mistakes. They're not perfect. We've been hearing that a lot. So this is phase 4 or stage 4 of business collapse. The Watchtower is doing that. They're admitting that they're not perfect men. And then also in 2013, they admitted that, you might hear some things that don't sound sensible from a human standpoint, but just go along with what we say. This is all stage 4 of a business collapse. That they're seeing that many things that they've stated have been incorrect, so they're trying to overcorrect it. They're trying to make it seem like, well, we have made mistakes, but still stay with us. And no matter what you hear, even though it doesn't sound sensible, please stay with us, friends. That's stage 4. I'm going to tell you stage 5. You want to hear stage 5 of a business collapse? Well, let me tell you about stage 5. They surrender. In all business collapse, at some point, they step forward and they surrender. They realize that it's too overwhelming. This is what the Watchtower is faced with right now. It's too overwhelming. How many people are leaving? It's too overwhelming, closing down all these kingdom halls. So now they're beginning to surrender. This is their last defense. This is the only way that they're going to be able to get people to stay with them, is by surrendering. And this just happened recently. No more hour reporting. No more hour reporting. And now they're also saying you can leave the Watchtower if you want. And, you can go away and then you can come back and repent. You can repent and you can be saved from dying at Armageddon. They're actually saying that now. And also this idea of dumping Toni Morris. I mean, what do you think of that? I mean, they are surrendering. The organization is disassembling itself. I say that is what's going on right now. 213, what do you have to say? Come on, let's hear from you.
Hey, Rick, how you doing?
I'm good.
You know what, Rick? My sister-in-law, she's a pioneer, and she was telling me that the new changes with the hours is she believes that they're gonna say that we're in the Great Tribulation pretty soon, and that we won't be going out in field service anymore because the what they said, the ark is closed. So that's what she was saying, you know. And I was just sitting back, I want to bust up laughing because I couldn't believe she is actually, you know, so brainwashed to believe that. But that's what some rumblings are going on that we're near the Great Tribulation, and witnesses won't be going out in field service anymore because the door will be closed.
Yeah, well, I think we're going to hear a lot of that, John. I think we're going to hear a lot of that in the future. This is a changing organization, and I don't really have much feeling that the door-to-door work will continue. Would you want to go out knowing that it's really not necessary to report time?
No, and it's weird because when I was a witness, the elders made us feel so guilty if we didn't go out. I mean, it'll be 100 degrees out there, and they wanted us to go out with a 3-piece suit on. And I was just so miserable because I would go out and it'll be so hot, and I'll come home, I'll be drenched. But my mother said, well, you're serving Jehovah. But now they're telling us we don't have to go out. It's crazy.
It's absolutely nuts. Absolutely nuts. Well, John, thank you. Thank you for checking in with us. I appreciate it.
Okay, Rick, bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, now, folks, I have to tell you, we got a guest coming on here, and his name is Justin Quinn, and he's involved in organizing this protest down in Washington, D.C., but we're going to bring him on here, and he's going to talk about it. I hope you can go to the protest. We're going to bring Justin on, and he's going to be able to talk a little bit about it. So I'm going to bring...
Hello?
Yes, go ahead.
I'm sorry. Is that a really quick question for you, Mr. Farron?
Yes, Kim.
Why is the program isn't going on all night anymore?
Well, there was a lot of bickering and a lot of, fighting going on. And so there's a lot of work. You know, we have a number of programs on the 6 screens, but, someone had to be vigilant and make sure the programs were up and running and going on YouTube. And that was me. And I couldn't stay up all night long any longer. And I would have, but there was just too much bickering going on and too much fighting. So I just got fed up.
I thought somebody could take over if you couldn't do it all night anymore, and I definitely understand. I thought somebody else could take over, and
Well, I'd be glad to have someone take.
You missed it.
No, I'd be glad to have someone take over if they could. This is a technical experience when you're having, a number of programs on. You have to line them all up. You got to make sure that it's all working, the sound's working, the camera's working. When you're doing YouTube videos, it's 1,000 times easier. But when you're doing live videos, it's difficult. But no, it's okay.
Yeah,
So we don't go all night long. So we got a number of people that have spun off from the 6 screens. We got Aposta Babe. She has her own program on Saturday night now. We got Larry John Wayne. He's got his own program on. So, there's still people. You look at our whole... Yeah.
Is Larry's program on, when does it start?
I guess it starts at about when we go off somewhere around midnight tonight, I think. I don't know when. Let me see if I can find out here for you.
Okay.
It doesn't...
I thought there was a program that didn't start yet.
No, this program comes on after this, but it's not on the 6 Screens network. He's on his own. Yeah. He's got his...
Yeah, understand. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I I didn't know he started. I thought it was something that was going to start.
Oh no, people. I mean, I encourage people. I look at we're not in competition here with anybody. Anybody that wants to expose the Watchtower, they're my friend. I'm not. I've got nothing to gain. Yeah. So anyone. So anyone, I don't care. I mean, and I'll tell you what, anybody that exposes the Watchtower, they're my friend. I'll tell you that right now. So yeah. So Larry's on.
Thank you.
Oh, okay. You're very welcome, Kim. All right, let's bring on Justin. Justin Quinn. Let me bring him on here right now, and we're going to talk about this protest. Hello, Justin.
Hey, thanks for having me on.
Yeah, Justin.
Thank you, your audience.
Well, we're glad we got a good audience coming here tonight. So we're looking forward to this protest. I know it's been being advertised and promoted all over the internet. So tell us a little bit about it, Justin.
Yeah, so we're having a organized protest, respectful organized. So not anything like some of these off the wall protests that you may have seen on TV. This is very organized, respectful protests happening right in front of the White House. So there's a group of ex-Jehovah's Witnesses meeting on October 31st from around 10 a.m. to I think it's around like 3:40, almost 4 o'clock on the 31st. And the main things that we're promoting is, number one, we got to spread the awareness about the shunning policy that affects so many people. If we speak plain English here, the Watchtower is basically blackmailing people into staying in their religion. If you are not believing what we tell you to believe, if you don't live your life the way that we tell you to live your life, you don't want to stay in our organization, we will hold your family hostage. So, we gotta spread awareness about that. We can't have people blackmailed into believing a religion that they don't believe in anymore. And we can't, even more than that, we can't have people, unfortunately, people have taken their own lives due to the shunning. That level of isolation is inhumane, and it affects people on a mental level, physical level, emotional level that you can't even imagine. So it has to be, we got to spread awareness about that. And then number two, we have to get mandatory reporting required in all 50 states. The way that the Watchtower and organizations like them handle CSA issues is not right. It lets people who, you have two people who commit the same crime, but if one of them is involved in one of these religions, they get to just be disfellowshipped or, perhaps just reproved. Whereas another person on the outside that commits exactly the same crime, they go to jail. And after they get out of jail, they have to register as an offender. When you register as an offender, you can't be a teacher anymore. You can't work at a daycare. There's all these walls that are put up by society to make sure that it's harder for you to hurt more children in this way. But when you're a Jehovah's Witness, those walls are not there anymore. So they can continue to hurt kids that are both within the organization and on the outside. And we have legal cases, plenty of legal cases out there that show exactly this happening. So that's what we're out there fighting for.
Well, it sounds good to me, Jason. I love protesting, and all goes well. I'm going to be there myself. I'm looking forward to getting down to D.C., and I got a bunch of signs I'll bring down with us, and I think we can have a good time together exposing the Watchtower. But so tell us, how is the event going? Give us kind of like an itinerary. How is it all going to work? People are wondering, what if I get down there and, the police arrest us? I know that incident they had with the insurrection, so to speak, of the Capitol, that's got a lot of people apprehensive, but I don't want people to think that. This will be a very well-organized event, right, Justin?
Yeah, you don't have to worry about anything like that. No, I mean, for one thing, just the tone of the protests. I mean, listen to the way I'm talking to you right now. Listen to the reasons that we're there, the things that we're fighting for there. These are very serious issues, and they need to be handled and spoken about in a very respectful way. So we're not there to cause a ruckus. But even more than that, you don't have to worry about anything like an insurrection, because this is legal. This is a legal protest. We have the permits in place with Homeland Security. So Homeland Security knows that we are going to be there on that day in that spot. And we'll have Homeland Security agents there that will be there, to protect us, to make sure that everything goes well. and make sure nobody disturbs us. And of course, we'll also have firefighters and all medical, everything like that, to make sure everybody stays safe. And we'll have people from within our own group that are also there to for crowd control and make sure that everybody behaves themselves. So on multiple accounts, you don't have to worry about that kind of stuff going on. We are
Oh yeah,
we're
well
doing this the
people,
right way.
well people are funny, Justin. They think all kinds of things. I know it's going to be very very peaceful. So anyways, there'll be meeting at 10 o'clock, and like I say, I hope to be there myself. All goes well. I will be in Pennsylvania visiting my father, so I can zip down. It's about 150 miles away, so I'll be able to zip down and hopefully be there. So I guess what you're going to have is people will meet at 10 o'clock in the morning, and then we'll be having various signs. I have a number of signs myself I'll be bringing so that we can hold those up. And then they'll have some people that will be giving like speeches, right?
Yes. Yeah,
Yeah.
the person that's organizing the event has pre-selected some speakers. I'll just say right now, it's not going to be like an open mic thing. The speakers have all been pre-selected. That way we can really make sure that we are getting the message out in the right way. That way we don't have anybody that wants to cause trouble taking over the microphone and representing us in a way that we don't want to be represented. So.
Right. In fact, Freebie, the woman that seems to be behind this, she did write me and she wanted to know if I would be able to give a speech there. And I said I would. So I'm looking forward to that. And like you say, it's well organized. So she's given people about 5 minutes to speak. And she wanted to know what my subject would be. But my subject is really the Jehovah's Witness organization is only a business masquerading as a religion. So I'm really looking forward to what other themes would be as well. So I know there's going to, so it'll be live streamed. I'm going to live stream it on the 6 screens, and you'll live stream it, and a number of other people will as well, Justin, right?
That's absolutely true. Yeah, if you can't make it there in person, you'll have plenty of options online, and that's important because we need support both there in person and online. The more people, the merrier.
Yeah, I was hoping to. I don't know how it is down there. I've been to Washington D.C. I've been to the White House, but I'm not really sure where you would park. It might be better just to get a hotel and then like take a lift or something to the White House. Are you familiar with the area at all, Justin?
No, this is gonna be my first time there. Yeah, so, I look forward to it.
So I have a lot of, when I usually do the protest up here in New England, I go to conventions, I go to Kingdom Halls, I have a bunch of stuff, but I'm not really going to bring all of that because I don't think I'll be able to lug it because I'm sure Homeland Security is not going to let me park my car in front of the White House,
Yeah.
So I'll probably have to go to a hotel and then take a lift. So I'll have a few things with me, but I'm going to kind of pack it light, So a lot of people staying there for the day. Are they renting hotel rooms? Is there any discounts for people if they go down there? Have you heard anything like that?
I don't know about discounts, but I do know this is the time of year where there's not much going on in DC, especially during that week. So I know I was able to get a very good rate on my hotel. The person that's organizing the event was able to get a very good rate on hers. I think there's people coming in that are staying for the day, people driving in from surrounding areas. I'm staying there for a couple of days. So if you're planning on coming there in person, and if you plan on staying there for a little bit, you should be able to get it at a much cheaper rate than normally would be.
Oh, did you mind me? How far away from where you're staying? How far away from the White House will you be?
I'm about where I'm at. It's about like a 15-minute walk. So.
So what can I ask you the name of the hotel because I'm trying to book a room myself? Yeah.
Oh goodness. Let me see. I can get exactly the hotel for you.
Yeah, be curious because I'm not too familiar with the area, but yeah, that would be great if it's only 15 because it would be great to know that and people can get an idea. Yeah.
It's Washington Plaza. That's what it's called. Washington Plaza.
Oh, Washington Plaza.
There might be hotels that are closer in.
Yeah. All right. No, I'm gonna check that out. So, I mean, just for room rates, I mean, we're talking like maybe $150 a night or somewhere around there. What?
Yeah, that's about it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, I checked it.
Maybe lower, depending on what you pick. Yeah.
All right. Well, I think it's really going to be good. So we're getting good response. Are we getting people responding? What? Tell us about that.
Yeah. It's been a good response, especially getting into October. I think we're only 10 days away from it now. Yeah, it's been covered on pretty much every XJW channel. So the word is getting out there. We're getting a lot of support, and people are planning to either attend in person or online. So
Yeah, no,
good to
I
see.
know that. I love protesting. It just it gives me such an adrenaline rush, Justin. It's like it's just like the highest highlight of my life. So I'm really looking forward to put my boots on the ground down there in Washington. Now, the other thing is, there's a lot of people, I have to tell you, that they're scared to death of this. They think that, oh, geez, I don't want to do it. That's feeding into the persecution complex. A lot of people feel that. They feel that's going to, really make more of a mess out of the whole ex-witness movement than it should. But I don't feel that way at all. I believe protesting works. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, no, yeah. If I was scared of that, trust me, I would not go at all. That's not at all what the protest is for. And in fact, we're not. It's not even the protest is not even about the Watchtower necessarily. We're going above religion here. A lot of these subjects that we're talking about are prevalent in many other religions out there. It just so happens to be that it's a group of extra Jehovah's Witnesses that are out there speaking out against these issues. But let me be clear, we are fighting for more than just the Watchtower here. If we only cared about our own people, we'd be just as bad as them. We are fighting for everybody, regardless of religion or non-religious organization, who are dealing with these kind of issues, dealing with the shunning, and especially dealing with CSA issues. So, as far as the persecution complex goes, if we always worry about that, we will get nothing done. We won't go anywhere, So we have to, we gotta come out here and work together and spread awareness about these things and give a voice to people that don't have a voice.
Well, thank you for saying that, because I'm in the same train you're on, Justin. And 18 years ago when I started protesting in front of Kingdom Halls, I got so many people upset with me. But all of a sudden, I believe people are catching the protest fever. Countries have been changed. Major issues have been changed by people protesting. This is one way to put your boots on the ground and to be able to really let people know where you stand. And then if we can get the numbers, I always was looking for numbers. Now, I know I've attended a number of protests, even here at the local area, the Kingdom Hall. I had the highest number of people I ever got was 23. And then in 2017, went up to the Warwick, in front of the Warwick complex, the world headquarters of Jehovah's Witnesses. We had 53. The largest protest in history was with the Silent Lambs in Brooklyn, New York. They got up to 73. So, boy, if we could just get 100, if we could get 100 people there, Justin, I think that could be that would radiate a lot of feelings. That the media would pick it up. It would be known throughout the world that the ex-witnesses are protesting in Washington. Do you think we can reach those numbers?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Especially with it being covered on so many channels, with this being such a historic event right in front of the White House. I mean, really, if you live in a surrounding area, if you can make that drive, please be there, because the more people we have, the more attention this is going to draw. A crowd of 20, 30 people, that can easily be ignored, but a crowd of a couple hundred, you can't ignore that, and that will get media attention. That's the whole reason that we're out there. We're not here to speak to the Watchtower, because the Watchtower doesn't listen. We've been out here speaking to them for so many years. They don't listen. So we have to come out here and do this event in a way that's taking our message and spreading it to the general public and the media, because those people and the lawmakers, of course, also. Those people deserve to know. Not only do we deserve to tell our story, but those people out there in the general public deserve to know what this organization is doing and how what they're doing actually can affect them on the outside, especially when it comes to the safety of their children.
Well, Justin, I know there's a lot of people listening in tonight, and they'd love to be there. And for some reason or another, maybe they can't, but they would love to be there. And this is a different feeling. I have to tell you the God's honest truth. today people seem to be more willing to do it. So I really do believe we'll get some numbers down there that will be very meaningful, and it's going to make a big difference. So let's open up the lines, if you don't mind, and see if anyone has any questions or thoughts about it. I mean, we still got plenty of time, folks. You still have a week if you live in the DC area or you like to come and protest with us in Washington, D.C. My goodness gracious, would love to have you come and be there with us. The more, the merrier. So why don't you speak up right now and talk to us? We got 540 is on with us. Go ahead, 540.
Hey, Justin, I'm really, really proud of you for doing this. This is wonderful. I hope you get C-SPAN. Call them. They'll do coverage. The local networks will do coverage. I think the city buses are free now. Metro is a good way to get from the hotel to where you're going to be at, and let the people know where you will be. And the cabs are safe and good, too. So I wish you the best.
Well,
I wish I was there to sing all along the Watchtower.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much. We appreciate that. We really, really do, Pixie. Okay, we've got, looks like another five. Well, I guess is another 540. 540. Go ahead. You want to go ahead.
Yeah, it's David in Virginia. Give me a flyer or something so I can pass it around Washington, D.C. this week. Email it to me.
Well, better than pass around a flyer. Why don't you be there with us? You live near there.
Yeah, well, I'm going to be up there, but I won't come there. I'll be in the hall up there.
Oh, wait a minute, David. I'm not going to send you any flyers. How far are you from Washington, D.C.?
47 miles away, but I'll be at Capitol Hill.
Well, wait a minute. Now, just listen to me. You've been coming. Well, let's not work with senators. Let's work with the ex-witnesses. Why can't you come out and be with us in Washington, D.C.?
Because I'm gonna be doing homework for some senators up there.
Well, don't you think it would be important if you would stand on the front lines, put your boots on the ground in front of the White House? Seriously, you live 47 miles away. Let the senators go for that day. Join us, okay?
I can't, Rick. I'm obligated to do it. I'm obligated to do it because I've already been scheduled to do it.
All right. Well, if you're scheduled to do it and you have a meeting, that's fine. But I would have loved to met you. I mean, you're an advocate. Yeah, you're working hard to expose the witnesses. I'm not giving you no flyers. You get no flyers. I'm sorry.
Wonderful. Yeah, you won't get no help from me then. Thanks.
Yeah. All right. So we want to get people, see what happens. But what happens, Justin? See how people chicken out? Here he is, 47 miles. I'm not picking on him. He's been calling in for a while, but that's what happens. They all chicken out at the last minute. Oh, boy, they want to talk great. They want to expose the Watchtower. But, geez, when it comes time to stand on the front lines, count me out, you know. I'm not picking on anyone, Justin, but I'm just telling you, that's my experience.
Yeah, we got to work together on this. That's for sure. The more of us that come together and work together, you know. I mean, it took teamwork just to make this happen in the first place. So the more we work together as a community, the more we can make some stuff happen.
Well, I tell you what. I mean, maybe I'm obsessed with this, but I know that this is one of the only. That this is such a big thing. If we got enough people to protest, it could make a big, big difference. But sad to say, most of the people, and I know some people have extenuating circumstances. I mean, you can't travel. Some people can't afford to get on a plane and travel 3,000 miles. But, you know, anyone in the area who is a Jehovah's Witness or has a beef with them, they should be there. Make your arrangements to be there by all means. Who'd like to call in? 906, you're with us. Go ahead, 906.
Yes, hello, Mr. Farron.
Yes.
Yes, thanks for taking my call here, and I wish you a lot of success here in this protest that's going to be there in Washington, D.C. I wish I could be there, but I mean, circumstances wouldn't permit me to go. I'm in agreement with you that protesting even if you write letters or something like that, does a lot of good. And like I have always said, one vote counts. I don't mean going down the polls and voting in a political election. I mean, just make yourself known. This is how I feel. One vote counts, and we've proven that time and again for the phone calls that have been coming through on 6 screens. When 6 screens first started, I don't think there was hardly anybody that called in, and I think there was times that nobody even knew what they were going to talk about. But now we're getting these calls. We're getting more and more calls in all the time. Now, if we get more and more people out there that's capable, of showing up and so forth, we're going to make a big difference. Because protesting and making your voice heard that, hey, I'm not putting up with this, that goes a long ways.
Very good. Well, thank you very much, Ken. I appreciate that. Now, listen, what I'm going to do here, Justin, I'm going to get a hotel room. I'm going to get a suite, perhaps. So if there's someone listening in to this program that would like to stay with me, now I don't want a female person. I mean, maybe your husband and wife, fine. But if you're husband and wife, I'll put you up for the night in a hotel room, okay? And but it's going to be a couple or a male, okay? So if you would like to come to the protest and you need a place to sleep, you need a hotel room, you can be in my room, okay? I'll get a suite. So we'll have, a couple of bedrooms there, okay? So I will offer that to anybody. Write me at jwworldnews@gmail.com, and I'll see if we can accommodate that. Okay. All right. Why don't we get some more callers coming in? Let's see. You guys must have questions. This is going to be hopefully the biggest protest ever in the history of the Jehovah's Witness religion. This is going to be activists standing on the front line, putting the boots on the ground. So why don't you call in and talk to us? I'm not going to beat you up. I won't beat you up if you can't make it. I'm not going to do that to you. So why don't you call in and let us know what you think? No, in fact, people wondering about my wife, Susan. I've got some people already that is going to be taking care of her. She's getting a little bit better. And so I do have people already in place to take care of Susan. So, okay. So let's go with 315. You're on with us, 315. Go ahead.
Hello, Rick. It's Joe and Fran.
Yes. Hello, Fran and Joe.
Hey, you just convinced us to go.
Excellent. There you go.
We'll help you. We'll hold up the signs, Rick.
Well, I got the signs for you. So you guys are willing to come down to the. Look at that, Justin. Isn't that good? We got 2 more people now. See that?
Yeah, the more the merrier.
Yeah, we can get our own room. It's about a 6.5-hour drive for us, probably a little longer with stops. Yeah, maybe someone can use the room. That's a nice offer you hear.
Yeah, well, I want to help people. I want to get as many people down there as we possibly can. So that is the offer still stands. Thank you, though. Hey, you made my day. I love it. I was thinking of you guys. That'd be great to see you down there. Wonderful. Thank you.
We were thinking about it, but you just made it possible.
Well,
yeah, we just can't do enough. Justin, what was the name of the hotel that you're going to be at?
Oh, let me see it again. That was, they might want to check though, because, the rates are constantly fluctuating. So even just yesterday, I was able to get a lower rate on it and had to cancel my old book and then rebook it. But this one is called Washington Plaza.
We can do this. Washington. All right, we'll check and see if they have any rooms left. So
about
are
15
you
minutes from the White House.
Are you 15 minutes? So are you going in on Friday morning, or when are you staying at the hotel?
I'll be coming in on the day before, Monday. Give myself a chance to prepare myself more, and then I'll leave the day after the protest, so I can kind of tour around a little bit. I've never been out there before, so I want to see some stuff.
Sure. Okay, we're gonna call and see if we can get some rooms, and we'll keep you posted. We'll keep Rick posted.
Nice.
And then you say it's a 15-minute walk. I imagine you could take a taxi, or we could walk it, but we'll see. Yeah, maybe an Uber or something.
Yeah, well, that's all sounds really, really good. And, depending on what it actually happens, how many people stay over, maybe I'll stay over an extra day and maybe we can all meet at my motel or hotel and we can have a little chat, a little talk. So we'll see what happens. I mean, I don't know. We're going to play it by ear. So we'll see how that all works out. But, anyways, we will broadcast it live on the Six Screens Telenetwork. And, of course, Justin will be broadcasting it. I'm sure everyone's going to bring their phone and be doing it as well. So I think that will be wonderful, Justin. Excellent.
Absolutely.
Well, there you
Sounds
go.
like the plan.
Sounds like, I'll tell you what, I mean, well,
Okay.
I'll tell you what, I
Thank you,
just,
Justin, for everything you're doing.
I get so excited. I feel like a kid and Christmas is coming, I mean, to me, I love putting my boots on. I might even get a new pair of boots. I love my boots on the ground. So that'll be
Hey,
good.
Rick, will the ones that are going to be online, when you're broadcasting it, can we be counted as part of the protest?
You'll have to ask Justin that.
I don't see why not. I mean, of course, the crowd that's there in person, that's what's going to draw the attention and make sure we get the media attention. But yes, of course, we fully need support online too. And I mean, if you ask me, I'm counting everybody online too. So I don't know how the organizers counting it, but I'm definitely counting people there in person and online. Because again, this is a big event. And we're going above religion here. This is not just a bash Watchtower. We are fighting for everybody here. We're fighting. This is about human rights and how all religions must respect human rights. That's our fighting point right there.
All right. Well,
absolutely. If I could be there, I would be for sure.
Well, thank you. Thank you, Debbie. Okay.
Hi,
listen.
this is Kirby here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, I didn't want to interrupt anyone else. Is it okay that I speak about some of the analytics from the website, from the Be Free website?
Of course.
Okay, so let me just introduce myself to everyone. My name is Kirby Scruples. I am one of the Be Free representatives, and I help manage the website. And I just thought it would be encouraging to let some people know. Is that my phone doing that?
No, I'm going to mute some people. There are a lot of people calling in. Let me mute some people. Go ahead. You're all set now.
Okay.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay. So today alone, we've had, also too, let me mention this. We do not have any social media page. The one account that we do have is a Twitter account, and that's fairly new within like the last 3 months and not consistent posting on there. Okay. So mostly just through word of mouth, mostly through YouTube comments and a bit of Reddit. So very minimal, social media like information. It's mostly just been word of mouth through just those 3 platforms, or mostly just YouTube and Reddit, right? And so people have been going to the website. So today we had about a total of 73 visits, okay? Now, if I look at the geography of those visits, okay, I scroll down, most of the people is going to be from the United States. But recently I've been noticing that I'm getting a lot of hits from people from Japan, okay? And then also Italy and Canada. So those are our top 3 countries that come visit our website. And I know 73 does not sound like a lot of people that came to our site, but like I said, we do not have anybody, or there's not a huge social media presence, okay? So we got hits from Puerto Rico, Norway, Japan, Indonesia, Germany, Switzerland, Nigeria, France, 3 visits from Canada, 6 visits from United Kingdom, 7 visits from Italy, and then 47 from the United States. That's just today, okay? So if I look in the last 30 days, if you guys are curious to know, do you want me to keep going or do you don't care? Because I'm just curious. I think this is like good information.
I think it is too. I really do. Tamia, is that your name, Tamia?
No, my name is Kirby. That's like my first name, but I go by my middle name.
Okay. Well, no, I think that's good, valuable information. That just shows you that people are interested in it. And I believe we will have some foreign people come here from different countries. We were going to have a protest back in 2020. I had it all lined up a year in advance. I had 100 people coming. They were coming from Australia. They were coming from all over the world. We were going to protest in front of the world headquarters. And then COVID hit. I had the hotel all rented. I had I had a room for speakers. I rented a big conference room. We were all set to go. And then the hotel went out of business. It was a Hilton, actually. And it went out of business, and the COVID put a damper on it all, you know. But this should be good. This should be really good.
Yeah, so we have visits for between September 22nd through October 21st, okay, so in the last 30 days, a total of 2,338 visits, okay? And I say all these different countries, it's several different countries, like countries I haven't even heard of, Ethiopia, Denmark, I'm looking at ones I can actually pronounce, Argentina, Peru, Serbia, Singapore, Thailand, Turkey. And I know that, you know, that the Jehovah's Witness organization was a worldwide organization. So these people are also curious worldwide who have actually left. So it's not just here in the United States that's interested in this protest. And like you said, people are not, you know, not everybody's able to just, you know, pack their bags and come all the way to the United States. But the more people that we can get out there, then the more awareness, okay? Because right now we're trying to bring the awareness. I was seeing in the comments that people are saying things like, oh, we need to be at the UN or something like that. And that's actually, I might have to explore that idea. You know, but this is we're in the beginning stages. You know, yeah, we probably do need a Facebook page. We probably need an Instagram page. We need to be more active on the Twitter page and all that stuff. But we're working with a very small team. And Justin, thank you so much. Thank you so much. You have been helping so much by spreading the message because your platform is a lot bigger than mine. My YouTube channel is only like 700 subscribers. And, you know, I do post stuff on my Instagram account, but I don't have that many followers. So I've been kind of do things on the personal side. And the organizer is you know, they're not into technology and things like that. So they didn't understand the gravity of just a little bit that we've done a huge amount of work and awareness. So I just wanted to share that. Is there any other questions that you wanted me to address by chance?
Well, I think you addressed it really well. We do have some callers calling in still. Maybe they have some questions for you. So 614, come on 614. What do you have to say?
Hi, Rick. This is Michael. How you doing, bud?
I'm doing good, Michael.
The protester, the girl, is she a part of Justin? I'm confused. Is she different from Justin, or are they together?
We are part of the Be Free representative team.
Are you with
Same
Justin?
team.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, good. I might suggest that you the promo work on as an ex-entertainer. I'm telling you, the best thing to do is get way out ahead of this as far as promoting what you're going to do. I would actually set up interviews right now. Start with people right now that are going to be there, so you can interview them now and put that on YouTube. Make it as civil and make it as informational as you can. Contact people now and let them know that you're going to be there. Contact the news department now. Let them know that you're going to be there.
Yes, I've been sending out press releases.
Yes. And the more educational you can make it, the more civil you can make it. I mean, shunning is a big deal because people are dying. They're committing suicide. I hate it when I hear a person commit suicide. I know what has happened to them. I know they got shunned right away. So that's
my best friend died. I made a video about it. He committed suicide, and that's why I'm a part of this.
Yes.
So yes, you're right.
Well,
so I'm doing as much as I possibly can. I haven't seen our press releases, but any suggestions on who I can send it to in that area would definitely help. I'm learning this as I go.
Yeah.
So,
well, if Rick puts out the address or email address of you all, I could set you up with some media to get to you right away. I know a lot of people in the media, I could help you out that way. I'll be more than glad to do it. But like I say, make this educational. Don't make it mean. Don't make it threatening or anything. But make it educational because the world needs to hear this.
Agreed. Thank you for that.
Well, I just want to say,
I am typing in the comments.
yeah, no, in fact, that's great. You could make those comments. And what you can do, Mike, if you do have some media contacts, why don't you write me at JW World News, and then I can send them off to Justin, and he can get in touch with the people that are working this. I'm not really in charge of this. Freebie and Justin and the girl that was just on are more or less the ones doing this, but I'll be more than glad to participate. But, I just want to say to the audience, if you've been locked in the Watchtower for a number of years like I was in it for 50 years, but I just wanted to mention there's a feeling that you get when you become an activist. Now, I can't really tell you what that feeling's like. It would be like a woman telling a man what it's like to be pregnant. But it's a feeling that I've never experienced before. When you can stand up for something that you know is right, and there are people that are trying to prevent you from doing it, there's an adrenaline rush. Even if you're sick that day, that night you will feel great. You will feel great. It'll make all the difference in the world. And that's I'm not just saying that in a moment of hype. There are people on here. I know there's people listening on here tonight that have been members of the 6 Screens protest teams that we've had, and every one of them experienced that adrenaline rush. Well, what would you pay for an adrenaline rush? People go to Sandals. They go on vacation to just get that little adrenaline rush. Come down to Washington, D.C. on Halloween Day, and it'll be well worth it. If it costs you a couple of $100 to even get there, a few $100 to get there, you'll say that was money well spent. You'd pay that for one doctor visit, and you're going to get so much off your mind. It's unbelievable. Who'd like to come on, say hello? We got more people like to come on. Yes, Dick.
Yeah, just a quick thought. You're absolutely correct about when you protest, you will feel an adrenaline rush. I kind of let it off to having a clean conscience and having the Holy Spirit with me. When you know you're doing something that our Heavenly Father wants done, His name is being besmirched by that horrible lying organization. And you're right. You protest, you're going to feel great about it. I hope everybody goes to D.C., on Halloween, and let's watch on how we feel about things. Thanks, Rick.
Well, there you go, Dick. And I know if you were feeling better too, I know you had some issues with your legs, but I know if you were doing better, you'd be there too. But we got more protests coming up in the future, Dick. So thank you for dialing in. Thank you, Dick. Yeah. So
Rick, I also wanted to mention something too.
Sure.
I'm not sure who the caller was before, and he said send me a flyer or something like that. So on our website, BeFree2023.com, okay, there is a digital invite, right? So if you go to the website, I'm looking at it now as I'm talking. You go to the resource tab, and then when you get to the resource tab and that loads up, you scroll down just a little bit, and then it'll say digital invite. And there's 3 different ones. There's one that's in black and white, and there's 2 different ones in color. So if anybody needs to see an invitation or wants to look at the permit or, get more information, then it's on the resource tab. So I've seen a lot of people in the comments mention, an invite, and then the guy mentioned wanting a flyer. You can print that off, and, you can repost it on any social media platform or anything like that for people to see, or print it out if you want to and pass it out if you're in the area. So that also would be helpful. I just wanted to mention that.
Well, that's a good thing. In fact, Dave, if you're listening, I didn't mean to get mad at you. I don't think I was really mad. But, 47 miles away, you called in here numerous times. David, I'd love to meet you. The disappointment I had is I thought you would be there. I would love to meet you there in Washington, D.C. You're a very instrumental part of the 6 Screens. I'd love to meet you. If you can reconsider it, I'd love to meet you, David. Oh boy, I'll tell you what. So anyway, Justin, what else would you like to say to our audience tonight?
Yeah, I mean, again, it's an important event. It's historic. We never had XJWs meeting in front of the White House. And again, this event it's aimed at reaching the general public, the media, and the lawmakers. We're out there fighting for human rights. We're out there fighting for kids' safety. These are issues that go above religion. These are issues that are not about attacking the Watchtower. They can claim that all they want, but we're not looking at them. We're looking past them. Let me make that clear. We're looking past these guys. Okay, so we're doing bigger stuff here. We just happen to all be, ex-Jehovah's Witnesses, but we're doing much bigger stuff here. And if we can get, mandatory reporting required in all 50 states, that's a win, not only for people that are still stuck in the Watchtower organization, that's a win for everybody. And so we can really help people out with this. That's why I'm a part of this. I think it's something worth fighting for.
Well, you're absolutely right, Justin. And I have to tell you too, that the more people that would protest, don't you think that is a thorn in the side of the Watchtower? We're just not we're not going away. They might stamp out a couple of us like cockroaches, but there's more coming out of the woodwork. And when they see this all happening, that's going to it's really going to make them think, my goodness, something must be going on. Look at all these people. Look at these people that we have really hurt, and now they're coming back against us. It could be so meaningful. So try to make it. But I know many can't. I understand that. I'm not trying to force anyone. Some people are sick. Some people don't have the funds. It's expensive today to travel. But, join us at least. Come online when we do our broadcasts and support us that way. That would be wonderful. Justin, what's your last words, Justin?
Hey, first of all, thank you for having me on. Thank you, all of you who are watching. Your time is valuable, so thank you for spending some of it on me. And again, if you can be there, whether in person or online, please be there. Let's fight this together. Let's come together as a community and work on this together. Because again, we're not only fighting for our own people here, we're fighting beyond religion. We're fighting for something bigger. And if we can get this accomplished, we can reach the lawmakers, reach the media, then this is really gonna spread more love and light and give some hope to people who have really been hurt out there, regardless of religion. So this is very, very important event, and I really hope to meet some of you guys there.
Well, Justin, thank you very much for coming on the 6 Screens tonight, and we'll talk it up again. I'll remind people next weekend, and we're looking forward to meeting you and your group down there, and we should have a good time. And I'll tell you what, this is the highlight. I've been looking forward to this, so looking forward to meeting you and all your friends, Justin. Thank you. Keep cranking away at it, and don't you ever give in, up or out. Thank you, Justin.
Thank you.
All righty. So there you go. That's our good friend, Justin. There you go, friends. I have to tell you, this is big. I really hope we can get the numbers there. If we can get 100 people, 150, I would love that. And I think we can do it. Let's see what happens. We'll see what happens. But I don't want to disappoint anybody. Sometimes, people say they're coming, they don't come. I've experienced this. But even if we have just 50, 60 people, that's okay. But the more, the merrier. I'm going to be glad to be there. All righty. So anyways, I'm glad that you were at least thinking about it. And we'll be broadcasting live on the 6 Screens and Justin's channel. You'll see it all over YouTube. It's not going to be an issue. So you'll see it. And I'm really looking forward to meeting a lot of people that will be coming in, hopefully from all over the world. We just don't know. So we'll just have to see what is happening. So anyways, Fritz Springmeyer, he just texted me, and he said that he had to work tonight. Now, we did talk today. I know it's going to be disappointment. We were all looking forward to Fritz. But Fritz said that in 2 weeks, if all goes well, he'll be on with us. He has some things he wants to share with us. So I know that's going to be disappointing. I'm kind of disappointed myself. But Fritz had to work tonight. He has a new job, so he couldn't do it. But Fritz is the author of the book, The Bloodlines of the Illuminati. And he'll be on in 2 weeks with us, so don't be disappointed. 602, what do you have to say? You're on with us. Go ahead.
Hi, this is Laura out of Tempe, Arizona. I was just going to say that would be nice if the media could pick it up too when you're in Washington.
Yeah, that would be good. I mean, that's what we're hoping for. These guys, I'm not running the protest. I'm just going to be a participant. But, I think they have contacted the media. So that would be a good thing. Yeah, that'd be great because it'd be all over the news, right? If we could get 100 people there, it would get the coverage. It would get the coverage. It'd be in a lot of news, a lot of newspaper. Won't that be awesome? Wouldn't it be great? Wouldn't it be great to see this Watchtower collapse? Wouldn't that be wonderful? Yeah. I think we'd all be happy over that. So thank you, though, for checking in with us. You like the idea of protesting?
Yes, but I'm too far away.
No, I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't. Phoenix, Arizona. That
I would not be there.
it would cost you too much. But you know what? But you can be there in spirit, right? And you can watch us and support us online.
Yeah, definitely.
Very good, sister. Yeah, yeah. So you are you do believe in protesting. There are some listening in here tonight that don't believe in it. They think that it just feeds into the Watchtower persecution complex. But I think more people are getting away from that. There's people have been sucked out of this organization because of seeing protesters. Now, the last protest I went to was a convention right here in Massachusetts. And boy, I'll tell you, it was unbelievable. We had so many people that were waving at us and taking pictures of us. And these were witnesses, and they were so happy to see us there. So it's a new dynamic. Things aren't the same anymore. Thank you, sister, for calling in. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Good night.
Good night now. So there you have it. I mean, people, they're into protesting now. Protesting was taboo. 18 years ago, if you were a protester against the Watchtower, you were some type of a kook. But today it seems to be, hey, listen, it's people are catching the protest fever. It's a wonderful thing, a wonderful thing. Well, Fritz isn't coming on. I don't know what else we can talk about. Usually what we do is we have our program after this, but maybe we'll keep it going for a little bit. But I'd like to know what we were talking about tonight, the 5 stages of a business collapse. Friends, I want you to take that to the bank and cash it. I'm really seeing it. The Watchtower is in phase 5 or stage 5 of a business collapse. They are on the verge of going out of business. I mean, I'm going to tell you that. You're saying, Rick, no, it's never going to happen. Friends, big companies go out of business as well. Do you remember Sears Roebuck? Do you remember Enron? Do you remember Kmart? Do you remember these companies? They're no longer with us. JM Fields, W.T. Grant. These were big companies. They're gone. The organization is nothing more than a business masquerading as a religion. And the organization right now, as we are speaking, is disassembling itself. We say, well, what do you mean, Rick? Well, what do you mean by the organization is disassembling itself? It's almost like they're trying to get themselves away from the public. It seems like they want to go out of business. I mean, some of the things they're doing as of late doesn't make any sense at all. I mean, the cutting back of meetings. I mean, do you remember when we used to meet 3 times a week? Now they're meeting 2 times a week. Do you remember when we had 3 conventions a year? Now they have, it looks like 1 day meeting, 1 convention assembly. Well, I guess they have 2 if you want to consider the conventions too. But, things are changing in the Watchtower. And this is not the same Watchtower that you and I grew up in. This is a different Watchtower. And they're changing very, very quickly. And they're hoping nobody really changes it. But, I want to show you something that really caught my attention. I want to show you some pictures here. J.W. Barbies. Now, you know the movie Barbie and Ken? That's a big time movie right now. It's really, really popular. And also, what's happening is a bunch of Jehovah's Witnesses, they're making costumes for Barbie dolls, making them look like Jehovah's Witnesses in the cart work, if you can believe that. And also, some of the Jehovah's Witnesses are selling Caleb and Sophia dolls online. Now, I can't tell you the Watchtower is the ones that are doing this. I think it's some brothers and sisters, but you think the Watchtower would step in and say, "No, wait a minute, we're not going to do that." I'm going to show you something. You want to see something really interesting? How about Barbie? These are Barbie dolls with a little JW.org logo packaging. They're standing next to a cart. Yeah, Jehovah's Witnesses are selling these. The Watchtower is not saying a thing. It seems like they're actually worshiping a logo. It seems like they're worshiping the logo, JW.org. And if you didn't know it, I have information that was given to me today that there's a gift shop right near the world headquarters, or one of the headquarters. I think it's up in Patterson. There's a gift shop that the JW the JW visitors, they're on a bus, a tour bus. They stop at this gift shop. It's right near Patterson facility. And there's a gift shop there that sells all this JW paraphernalia, dolls and buttons and jewelry and anything you want with JW.org on it. You would think the Watchtower would say, no, enough is enough. We're not going to do that. But they don't say a thing about it. So the bus tours stop at this store. And boy, when the bus stops, I'm sure the store owners, the Jehovah's Witnesses who own the store, they say, wow, look at the money we're going to pull in here. But there is the JW.org Barbie dolls. I want to show you the Sophia and Caleb dolls. They're a little bit creepy, but I want you to see them. These are also being sold at the gift shop. That's Sophia and Caleb. Now, they are creepy looking. I mean, I don't know, but I would think that Jehovah's Witness parents are really sucking these things up. They're just probably buying them right off the shelf. Sophia and Caleb in Barbie dolls. I wonder if the company that owns Barbie, I wonder if they know about this. I mean, that's Mattel. That's the Mattel toy company. Geez, you think they'd be suing the Watchtower. But I find it very fascinating that Watchtower is even allowing some witnesses to actually make these little dolls and sell them. And I'll tell you what, when I was a witness, I'd probably be buying them myself, so that the business must be very good. So it's a strange thing. Well, what would you do years ago if the Watchtower started selling little Barbie dolls then? What would you think? Well, today they get away with it. But back then, that would have been considered really, really crazy. Well, you're on with us. Is there any comments that anyone would like to make? I'd love to hear from you. Here's your chance to do it. Dial in, if you would. You're on with us right now. Hit *6. Come on. Tell us. What do you think? What do you think about the Watchtower? Yes, Fran. Yes, Fran. Yes.
You said that Fritz wasn't coming on tonight. Would you like us to come on and have some more call-ins? We've been having such good success.
Oh yeah, if you'd like to come on, yeah. Fritz couldn't come on. He has a job. He works at night, and he thought he'd be free tonight, but they called him in. He had to go to work, but he was so disappointed. He had something he really wanted to show us. So he says in 2 weeks, he says, Rick, I think I can make it. But yeah, if you'd like to come on, I'll send you a link and you can come on and do a program. How's that?
Yeah, we're ready.
All right. Well, let me send you a link. Just give me some time here, folks. I'm going to send a link to Fran and Joe, and they'll be able to come on here tonight, and they'll have a program. They listen. These guys are good people. They love to talk about things that are going on behind the curtains of the Watchtower. So let's set up a live stream. Let's put it on a number of platforms here so that people can listen in on 10 different platforms, and it'll be the outside story. So let's do that. Let me just type it in. The side story with Fran and Joe. So yeah, what we do here, this has to all be done, by hand, but we can do it. And it's not like a YouTube video where you can edit things. We have to do this in real time. So just give us a second, and we'll get this up. The outside story. Well, thank you guys for wanting to do that. I think.
Yeah, you're welcome. We're glad to, Rick. We're glad to.
Oh, I know.
We're finding so many people that want to connect.
Yeah, well, I see that, Joe. And boy, you guys are making a big success. You're finding so many people. Yeah, it's unreal.
Well, I think last Saturday we had like 6 different ones either calling in or emailing us, or they were on the live chat. So, and we've been able to connect them with other people. I know Linda was on last week, and already we've connected her with at least 3 people. They've been in contact. So we're glad to do it. There's a need out there, and we're glad to fill that need.
Well, yes, indeed, there is a need. In fact, you guys are feeling it. It's wonderful. It's wonderful. All right, let me just copy and paste this. And then we will put this into the different platforms we go into. So that's good. The 21st of October, customize the destination. All right, we're ready to go. I'm going to send you a link.
Is Randy not coming on?
Oh, in fact, yes, is Randy Waters on? Randy Waters, you out there? I talked to Randy today. We had it all worked out that he was going to call into the program, but he was having some.
He sent out information to everybody too.
Did he? Randy, you on there with us? Hit *6, Randy, if you are. I don't think he is. I've been watching for him. I talked to him today. He was going to come on, but this happened a few times with Randy. I wanted him to tell a story. We're all going to try to help him a little bit, but it just went flat. We talked about it today. I was on the phone with him this morning, but he never made it on.
Hey, Randy, if you're there, come on in.
Hit *6, Randy. Hit *6. Randy Waters hit *6. Would love to hear from him, Debbie. But it's happened before.
Yeah, he said he was supposed to be on like 45 minutes ago.
Yeah, I've been asking, but he hasn't been on. He hasn't been on. Yeah.
Oh. Okay. Well, he did seem really excited about it.
Yeah.
I even called some people and told them that, because they used to take his newsletter that he used to send out, and back many years ago, and they were joining in tonight too, and they were going to be new listeners for the first time tonight, and just because of Randy coming.
Yeah, well, I can't help that. I was on the phone with him this morning, and we had it all worked out that he was going to call into the program, but he didn't do it. So
yeah,
he told you. Okay, sorry, Debbie, but we'll try to get him on next.
That's okay.
Well,
feel bad for him. That's all.
Well, we'll try to get him on next week. He's a good man. He really, really is, and he has a lot to talk about. So. And we're going to try to help him out a little bit. He has to get a ride, and we're going to try to get some help from him tonight. We could all help him a little bit to get to Arkansas. So we'll see what happens. Okay. Okay, Joe and Fran, I sent you the link. Randy Waters, are you on with us? Randy Waters. In the meantime, let's go to 864. At 864.
Oh, hi, Rick. How's it going?
I'm doing good. Who's this?
This is Robert calling from the Greenville, Clemson area.
Well, very good, Robert. Very good, Robert. Good to hear from you. Good to hear from you.
I just got to tell you, this is a very, very impressive show today. Very good. I think you're thinking out loud and your insight, especially when it comes to the 5 stages of collapse, is interesting knowledge to have. I think you're spot on all of your assumptions on all of this. I also want to say that I don't think if they do collapse, that it'll be 100% collapse. There'll be a remnant, so to speak, of survivors that'll still stay on, like the Russellites. They're still going on today. But your insight of all of this collapse with this organization, this cult. I grew up in the organization. I was a ministerial servant, but I'm so glad I'm out we all appreciate the work you have done for all of us that have left this organization.
Well, thank you very much. Well, thank you very much. Well, that's good. I'm glad you appreciate that. I found that fascinating. I'm a businessman myself, and even before I examined these business collapse ideas, even before I started investigating the Watchtower, but where they're a business, they fall right into that same category. They fit the profile, you know.
Yes. I just want to thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, brother. Go ahead, Debbie. Yes, Debbie.
John Marciano's on here, and he said that he texted Randy, and Randy's having problems logging on.
Well, all he has to do is call in. Just, I gave him the telephone number. All he has to do is call into the telephone number. You don't have to log into anything.
Well, that's what I thought. I just thought maybe if he heard this, he might try to call in.
Yeah, just something to call into the program, and Fran and Joe can talk to him, and I'll talk to him as well. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, tell him just to call in. Give him the telephone number. You know what the number is? Debbie, do you know the telephone number? The telephone number is 727-731-6701. All he has to do is dial that number, and he's on. He doesn't have to come on YouTube or anything, you know? All right. So anyways, let's go over to the other studio with Fran and Joe. And boy, they're on there already. All right, so I'm going to go back. I'm going to end JW World News. We'll go to Jan and Fran and Joe. So just give me a second to do that. All right, so Fran and Joe is coming up next. Friends, I have to tell you, Fran and Joe are doing a fantastic work. They are bringing people together. They are bringing ex-Jehovah's Witnesses together, and I give them an A+. They get a gold star. They're doing really, really good. So we're looking forward to the program coming up. We're going to be ending this program. Does 614 want to say something before we leave? I think that's Michael. Michael? Yeah, go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, Rick,
Yeah.
I wanted to say something.
Yeah.
I wanted to go back to your comment about 1975.
Yeah.
When you talk about the collapse and everything. Way back when, I figured it out. 75 wasn't going to come because they were going by the destruction of the Temple of Jerusalem, or the destruction in 607. Well, I knew a long time ago that didn't happen in 607. And so all their calculations were wrong. And so I knew that I knew that a long time ago. So the 75 date never even came into my existence.
Well, that's
and I also wanted. Go ahead.
No, that's interesting you say that. That's that was a marked year, no doubt.
Yeah. And then I also wanted to say, I've talked to several Jehovah's Witnesses now, and you got me interested in doing this again, because I was willing just to let this go out of my life. And I think I talked to you about a year ago, and you had me on your show, and I got to explain my story and everything. Now I've become to where I go to the witnesses themselves and explain the knowledge that I learned about the temple. One thing that destroys their religion is the destruction of the temple in 586, not 607, because they've said Jesus comes into existence on the throne invisibly in 1914, and they based all that on the destruction of the temple in 607. And when you start to show these witnesses this information, kindly, gently, just show them that this is in the history books. I mean, you can go to Josephus and his writings there. It starts to destroy the religion. It don't get them right away, I will say that, but it makes them start to think, and they can't defend themselves anymore. I talked to a Jehovah's Witness about 2 weeks ago, and after I got finished with him, I told my wife, I said, I shouldn't have been so hard on him. I actually felt sorry for him because I just hit him with Bible. And I hit him with Jesus Christ, and I hit him with the destruction of the temple. And they can't defend it anymore, Rick. They just can't defend it.
No, they can't.
I think that's why they don't want to go out in service.
No, they can't defend anything. Mike, you're absolutely right. Thank you, Mike. Thank you for giving us that thought tonight. Thank you. Well, we're ending the program. We're ending the program tonight.
Goodbye from California.
Goodbye from California. Who's this?
This This is Larry Bottlecup from Rodeo, California, a former Jehovah's Witness. And I just wanted to say the organization has gotten so big, so unruly, that it can't be controlled from a central source. And I think the Watchtower is realizing the trouble it's in Norway, in France, in England, in Japan, New Zealand, and certainly in Australia. And suddenly it's become an organization they can't control anymore.
Well, you said it right.
Hi, Rick.
The words right out of my mouth. Go ahead. We got 509. It looks like come on. Say hello to us. Yeah.
Hi. Well, we just want to say we love your show and we watch all the time, and we wish we could be there in Washington, D.C., but we're in Washington State, so it's a little bit of a trip.
Oh, yeah, too much, yeah.
We thank you for everything you do.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate that, Mary. Thank you. No, we're...
Thank you.
But no, just be with us in spirit. That's fine. That's wonderful.
Well, we will.
All right. Well, thank you.
We'll be on live with you all day.
All right. Well, thank you for dialing in. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All righty. Well, my goodness gracious, what a show tonight. Now, listen, we do have a 6-screen Sunday tomorrow. So if you want to come in and join us tomorrow, we start at 1 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I think you'll find it fascinating. We have a number of great programs coming up tomorrow. We have the Knowing God program after leaving the Watchtower. Of course, we get into theological discussion on Sunday. So I just want to give you a little heads up on that. And then at 2 o'clock, we have a program called Ex-Jehovah's Witnesses Share Their Trek in the Watchtower. Then we do JW World News Sunday edition at 3. Then we have a program called The Christian Court. There's a lot of peculiar questions that Christians ask. They're not salvation points, but Christians ask peculiar questions. We answer them in the court. And then Jay Hess. Well, he used to work with the Watchtower. He was involved with the writing department, and he has his own program on the 6 screens every other Sunday. Jay Hess, Make a Disciple. So we're looking forward to that. Okay, let's go one more. We got one more call, and then we'll end it. Okay, I think that's it. Okay, let's end it there then. Okay, thank you for coming in. I want to thank all those people for dialing in and being with us tonight. I was hoping Randy Waters could have shown up. Fritz will be with us in 2 weeks. Fran and Joe will come up next, as we say. And I want to just mention this as well. A lot of people that still want to send donations and money to the 6 screens. At this point, I say we're doing fine. I appreciate you wanting to help and what have you, but I'm okay. I'm doing okay. And I like doing this. It didn't cost me anything. I didn't have to be a patron. I didn't have to sign up for some subscription to learn all about the Watchtower. I learned from people like Randy Waters and Bill Bowen and Barbara Anderson, and I'm thankful for them. So don't send any money here. If you really want to help me out at the 6 screens, subscribe to the channel. Spread the word. If you're on Facebook, share it. Let the world know who the Jehovah's Witnesses are. Let all the people who are in the witness world come to grips with what we do here at the 6 screens. That would help me more than anything. So please do that. Okay, friends, we're coming to the end.
Randy should be calling in right now.
Well, okay, we'll wait for him. In fact, I'll have him come on Joe and Fran show. I'll kind of watch for him. So we'll bring him on the next program. Down it. I wish he would have called in when I was on, but that's okay. We'll talk to Fran and Joe about it. Okay, friends. So listen to me. I want you to keep standing tall. I don't want you to ever give in, up, or out. I want you to keep waving the flag of victory. And the last one, leaving the Watchtower. Please turn off the new light. Fran and Joe is up next. Thank you for coming in tonight.